Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube, what's going on? It's Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers, and we are back with another video. And in today's video, we're just going to be ranting about the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if you guys are Steelers fans or you enjoy NFL content in general, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Shout out to the people who have subscribed already. And shout out to the future subscribers, man. Also, I want to, apologize sort of because I was suspended on YouTube, and we're going to talk about that maybe in the future. We're not going to really do it in this video right now, but I was suspended, and so I missed 2 games of Pittsburgh Steelers football as far as YouTube. But that does not mean I didn't watch the absolute catastrophe that the Pittsburgh Steelers have been putting out on tape. So in my absence, we beat the Bengals, and then we lost to the Bears. In the Bengals game, things were working, things were clicking, but like clockwork, like the Mike Tomlin experience, in the next week, we completely abandoned everything that worked, and once again, we just fell off a cliff. Now, a caveat to, I guess, that 2-game span is Aaron Rodgers did not play. Mason Rudolph came in and played. However, the offense, in which we're probably going to spend a lot of time talking about, the offense pretty much looked exactly the same. When we went into the season, we were talking about the wide receiver 2 position. We've been talking about the wide receiver position when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's never been more apparent, man. It's never been more apparent than right now in the fact that we need another wide receiver. When we look at the stats, we have DK Metcalf, who to me has been kind of underperforming, but with this offense and the schematics and how scared we play, maybe that just comes with the territory. But DK Metcalf, he's been kind of underperforming to me, and then past that, it's been Calvin Austin, it's been Ben Skowronek. It hasn't really been much Roman Wilson, even though he appears to be getting open all of the time on film. But, we just don't really be throwing him the ball. And so when we go back to talking about Mason Rudolph playing instead of Aaron Rodgers, it really wasn't that big of a difference. But honestly, now that we're here in this timeline, Mason Rudolph stinks, man. And you know what? We brought it back. Mason Rudolph stinks. Mason Rudolph is not, good at the football, and I can't believe that there was a real, time where we were thinking about going into the season with Mason Rudolph, like that was the play, like that was ever going to work out. And truthfully, if Aaron Rodgers misses another game, if Aaron Rodgers, doesn't play in the future or something like that, and we have to pick between Mason Rudolph and Will Howard, to me, you should just go out there and let Will Howard play. Now, the running game, honestly, before I talk about anything else, I do want to give a shout out to Broderick Jones and the offensive line before we, talk about the running game, because I think this offensive line unit has been coming together very well. And that's like the only bright spot when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. And so I wanted to also talk about the running game and the fact that the offensive line is playing good and we appear to be running the football okay, but then half of the time we just decide to abandon it. I am tired of watching Jaylen Warren eat and then somebody else take his spot. I thought it was like Najee Harris. I thought, he was a first-round pick and all the blah, 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 blah. But no, it seems like we just love not giving Jaylen Warren the ball. We will give the ball to Kenneth Gainwell. We'll even throw in Caleb Johnson for a few plays instead of just letting Jalen cook. Now, not too much on Kenneth Gainwell because he did, do okay running the football. I think he had like 90 yards, but most of it came on one run. But then, he goes around and then he makes that game-ending penalty with the illegal formation. And that just goes back to us being undisciplined. That just goes back to us never being ready. That just goes back to us not being able to do something repetitive, like with purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like everything we do on offense is like a mistake. Every good play that we have, like, we didn't even mean to do it. We just kind of got lucky. Now, in the past, I've been very critical of our offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith, and low-key, I don't think I'm going to let off the gas just yet when it comes to Arthur Smith, because I do think there is a lot of room for improvement. However, I'm starting to notice something, right? And I'm going to talk about the defense probably for a while later, but just real quick, when the defense plays bad, when, people are wide open every single time in the middle of the field, which we never do, and I'll talk about that too. When that happens, people say, oh, Mike Tomlin is the one actually calling plays and his defense doesn't work. And then it comes out that Mike Tomlin actually doesn't call plays. It's Terrell Austin, and Mike Tomlin, he just, kind of has influence or whatever, but he doesn't literally call the plays. This happens every single time, right? But then when we look on the offensive side of the ball, something that we've struggled with, something that just has not happened in years, is us using the middle of the field. We just don't do it. And you know why we don't do it? It is because that's where the turnovers happen, apparently. Apparently, the turnovers happen in the middle of the field, and we are just scared to throw there. Literally, we are scared. The coach who was like, don't live in your fears, the coach is like, you better not blink. It seems like we're blinking all the time because we do not use the middle of the field because we're scared to do so. And on top of that, that's where the turnovers happen. Man, we be throwing picks all the time, man. We be fumbling all the time. We are undisciplined as hell. So what do you mean we're not going to use the middle of the field because, that's where the turnovers happen? It is 2025. We are 2 days away from Thanksgiving again. It'll be my 26th Thanksgiving. And in my 26 years, I have seen the change in football. In your 26 years, you have seen the change in football. The 30 pluses, the 40 pluses, the 50 pluses, the 60 pluses, the 70 pluses, the 80 pluses. You guys have all experienced a different football game than you started out with in your childhood, right? And I see it now today, right? And the fact that we cannot evolve, the fact that we are not doing what every other team in the NFL is doing is crazy to me. We lose to the two teams who beat us in the middle of the field every single week, but we never add it to our playbook. We never do it. And what's crazy is we can't even practice against it. We can't even practice, them throwing the ball to their tight end in the middle of the field because we literally don't do that on offense. So it's like our defense, these are new plays to us because we have not seen this. It is malarkey, the fact that Mike Tomlin is able to just skate by this. And I love the guy to death, and I'm never gonna say we need to fire Mike Tomlin, but he should be the absolute farthest away when it comes to the offensive side of the football. Defense, he should be. All right, I'm gonna set it up as an analogy, okay? If the offense is like a house, right? Mike Tomlin should be 8 neighborhoods over. He should be nowhere near the house if the offense is a house, right? But if the defense is the house, Mike Tomlin can be across the street. But still, he's not in the house. He should not be in the house. Not too much. I love Mike Tomlin, but we have ample evidence. You've seen James Harrison going crazy. You've seen so many pundits, media pundits going crazy, and I can't defend it anymore. It's impossible to defend, and why would you defend it? It's undefendable. The fact that Mike Tomlin just has this influence. We are literally scared to use the middle of the field. I reiterate. Arthur Smith, he has, his own problems. We've brought in talent for his offense to work, but how is his offense supposed to work if he can't use the middle of the field? This is a guy who on history has a record of using the middle of the field and doing it successfully. He comes to Pittsburgh and now we can't do it. We don't do it. We didn't do it with Justin Fields. We didn't do it with Russell Wilson. We don't do it with Aaron. We didn't do it with Kenny. We didn't do it with Mitch. We didn't do it with Mason. We didn't do it in Ben's last years. We are just scared of turnovers, and that to me is inexcusable, and the turnovers still happen anyway, so that's stupid. Really, when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, we know what the problem is. It's we have no talent. We have no money invested in it, and the money that we do have invested in it is poorly spent. I'll be honest, it's poorly spent money. DK Metcalf, for right now, today, poorly spent money because 1, we can't get him the football, and 2, George Pickens is way better than DK Metcalf. Let's be honest. George Pickens is way better than him. And I know what was going on with him off the field and blah 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 blah, and he's a locker room cancer and all that stuff. Man, I get it, but wide receivers are always like that. You need that. You absolutely need the locker room cancer out of your wide receiver 1, especially when the guy is averaging 150 yards and a touchdown a game. DK Metcalf, whether it's because of our offense or whether it's because of him, he's not doing that same thing. And so, our best player, DK, our highest paid player on offense, bad money. Pat Freiermuth, we don't get him the ball, bad money. Jonnu Smith, we don't get him the ball, bad money. Who else? And past that, it's all rookies. Past that, it's a bunch of young players who really are we going to develop? Probably not. Roman Wilson, is he ever going to catch a pass for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Probably not. Kenneth Gainwell, is Kenneth Gainwell poorly spent money? How many times did this guy cost us, man? And I love Kenneth Gainwell, but I'm very frustrated right now at this moment. Calvin Austin, we were hoping for a leap from him. This dude can't catch the football. It's just unbelievable. Aaron Rodgers, poorly spent money. We should have just let Will Howard play. Low key, I know, I just said all this bad stuff about Mason Rudolph and whatnot, but with how we're going, why did we even, why did we even sign Aaron? Why not just let Will Howard play his rookie season and just see what he had going? Because it's not like we're going to develop him. It's not like Will Howard is going to come in next year and just like be ready, even though he has Aaron Rodgers next to him. We are like a black hole when it comes to quarterback play. We are a black hole when it comes to the offensive side of the football. And so, it's just hard for me to be excited about anything related to offense with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, past the offense, let's now talk about this defense, man, because this is just terrible. Our defense sucks. And like, did I expect it to suck? No. Does it normally suck? Yeah, kinda, I guess. Like in the big moments it sucks, but it was just like, man, maybe it won't suck this year. Guess what? It sucks this year. TJ Watt, he's on pace for his lowest sack season ever. Or I guess since his rookie season. And like, of course, he just got a contract. Honestly, for how good TJ has played, even though, we haven't had that playoff success or whatever, for how good TJ has played, I don't even care that we extended him. Maybe I'm dumb for that. Maybe I'm a fair weather fan for that, or whatever the hell that term is. Maybe I'm just like delusional. But I don't really care that we gave TJ Watt all that money and like he's not having this crazy season, because he has played crazy before, and it's not like we're gonna do it. It's not like we're really gonna do anything. TJ Watt, is he the absolute problem too? No, I don't think so. And so hey man, you want to make money? We're clearly not gonna spend it on offense. So you know what, TJ, go ahead. But it remains to be seen. It should be said, TJ Watt is not really having the best run of it. Another guy who we paid a lot of money to, Cameron Hayward. Cameron Hayward just got a contract extension. He wanted a re-contract extension in the season. It caused some drama. People were mad at him. People were starting to yell at, oh my God, I forgot to mention Connor Hayward this whole video. But Connor Hayward tush pushing all day. Jeez Louise, man. But yeah, Cam Hayward, he wanted a new contract. He had people dogging his brother all because he wanted a new contract. Did Cameron Hayward earn the contract? I think he lived up to it. However, a contract is a contract, and the fact that he can just back out every season, it pissed a lot of people off. It kind of pissed me off. And is he having a good year? Is he living up to that number? No. Jalen Ramsey, is he living up to that number? No. I mean, come on, man. Like, we're giving up 52 points a game, man. We look at the Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen, come on, bro. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm debating Ravens fans every day. Like, man, like, we got Patrick Queen. Like hype, trying to hype you up, man. You come on, make a tackle, man. Peyton Wilson, I love you, but come on, man. Our middle of the field is horrible. But like I said, we don't practice against it, man. How am I supposed to be upset at the middle of the field defense when we don't practice against it? We get no reps against it, and so we're just coming in blind every single game. The only person I really think deserves big ups is Nick Herbig. And I also think James Pierre has been playing I cannot believe I got suspended when James Pierre was playing some of the best football of his life. Now, of course, with James Pierre, you also get James Pierre sometimes, and so he doesn't play well always, but it's like shit, man. I was pissed I couldn't talk about James Pierre eating against the Bengals. But really, the defense, it's just bad. We can't stop the run. And actually, okay, we can stop the run sometimes for sure. And Derek Harmon, our rookie, has been a fantastic piece of that. Y.A. Black has been a fantastic piece to that. Keanu Benton, is it going to work out? Maybe. I don't know. But we can stop the run now if we really try to, but the problem with that is we devote everything to stopping the run, and then we can't, guard anything. And then when we try to guard stuff, they run all over us. It's like, potato, pick your poison. And then even, like, we're talking about stopping the run. We get them to the goal line, and this is the Bears game specifically, but I'm sure it happens all the time because we're the Steelers, and we make the same mistakes over and over. We get them to the goal line, and we decide to have two people in the middle of the field, and Cameron Hayward, who's hurt, and Keanu Benton, and they're going against like 9 different offensive linemen, and we just assume that it's going to work. We just assume that TJ Watt is going to beat his block and get all the way around the edge to stop the run when they have to literally get one singular yard. This is just what the Pittsburgh Steelers are right now. We are dysfunctional. We are undisciplined. We are poorly coached. We are out game planned. We are old. I'll say that too. We are old as hell, man. Like, we got grandpas walking around there. I swear to God, when Aaron Rodgers started playing football, I was -3 years old. I don't know that to be true, but I'm just saying. Like, Jalen Ramsey's even up there. Cameron Hayward is old AF. Like, we are just an old football team, and that shit does not work. We are old literally in age, and we are old figuratively in schematics. We are using a same playbook from Madden 2K6, and that doesn't even make sense. But like I said, I'm just very frustrated with this team. I've had a lot of things that I've had to get off my chest, and it's just unbelievable, man. Honestly, I can't believe that we are in this state when really all of the tea leaves pointed to this. Everything, pointed to the Steelers just being mid. And now we're sitting here 6-5, and we're gonna go against the Bills. And what's crazy is we're probably gonna beat the Bills. We probably are, because like somehow we'll just find that magic and it'll work. And then the next week against the hold on. I got the schedule up here. Okay, so we have the Bills. Oh my God, I haven't mentioned this, but we blew the division to the Ravens, by the way. The Ravens, who are 1-5 at one point, we blew the division to them. But yeah, we have the Bills, and then it's the Ravens, and then it's the Dolphins, and then we got the Lions and the Bengals and Ravens again. Or I don't think it's the Bengals. Is it the Bengals? Oh no, it's the Browns again, not the Bengals. But still, we have the Bills, and then we have the Ravens. Those are two very tough games, and the Dolphins, they're like not the greatest team, and so that scares me, because they're not the greatest team. That means we're gonna blow the game. You know what I'm saying? Like it's spooky. But yeah, I think we can beat the Bills. I think we're probably gonna beat the Bills, and then we're gonna get our hopes up again. Aaron Rodgers is gonna have like a 4-touchdown, 100 million% passer rating. We're gonna somehow use the middle of the field again, and then we're just gonna abandon it in the next game. We're just not gonna do it again. And if we make the playoffs, we'll be a first-round exit. If we don't make the playoffs, then who cares? We'll just keep the same core. We'll just keep do the same things next year, and like, will it work? I don't know. Maybe. Big trust. You know what I'm saying? Like that is us right now. And the only way to fix that, to me, you got to fire Mike Tomlin, man. You got to fire Mike Tomlin. And the only other thing other than firing him is just completely relinquishing him, as I mentioned, of him being 19 blocks over and no longer letting him in the house, and like just having him give the speeches, and that's it. Like that's the only thing I see. That's the only way I think this works. But in terms of like the play calling, in terms of the schematics, in terms of the drafting, in terms of the roster management, in terms of the trades, in terms of free agency, in terms of everything when it comes related to the game of football, Mike Tomlin just can't be a part of it right now until he proves us otherwise. And if we somehow win out and we just win a playoff game this year, then I'll take it back. Mike Tomlin, I am very ready to take it back. I swear. I am very ready to take it back. I swear. I love you, Mike Tomlin. I don't want it to end this way. I don't want you to go out like this. But I got to be honest. I can't get on here and lie. But yeah, like I said, I was suspended for a little bit. Really, it was kind of bullshit. I went live, and then like I got striked on the live. Then I tried to appeal it, and like they got mad. It's a whole thing. I was clearly in the wrong. And YouTube, I'm sorry. NFL, my bad for streaming. You got $1 billion. You guys are billionaires over there. But anyway. It's been a while, so I apologize if this video is just kind of all over the place, kind of ranty. Maybe that's what you guys were looking for. I don't know if anybody's missed me. But we're here. We are back to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thank you all for watching this video if you made it all the way to this point. Check out another video on the channel. Once again, please subscribe, hit the like button, do all that fun stuff. This has been Zaya from Zaya and the Steelers, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.